Here we go, aka Patters. I apologize about last night. Impromptu dinner party, came back, crashed out. I apologize. I've been up since early. It's still been a struggle to get here. I can't believe it's already 1 o'clock. Join me, aka Pad 694, Jacktober. This is where we celebrate the king of comics, Jack Kirby. I know it's November, but we're almost done the sketchbook. We're almost done all of the prompts, thanks to Tom Scioli. We're going to be working on the demon here, demon form and human form. And we're just maybe going to be doing some coloring. We got Fantastic Four coming up. Total excellence. What is happening? What is up, my buddy? Cheers to you. Cheers to AKA Pad. People, we're just rocking and rolling. We got, again, to another busy morning. I think I need to, should I kill my blinds a little bit here? Just a tad. Do we need to get a little bit more visibility? All right, guys, give me a second here, because number one, I have to put on a watch. Never live stream without the watch. And number two is I need some sippy. Give me a couple. I will be right back. All right, aka here's what's happening. We're back. So, just to maybe review, because I'd like to bring all of you the other things other than comic books that I'm reading. Just got into Stephen King Dark Tower. My friend Ben Jackanoff, you can look him up. Believe he currently is. He's done some recent work with Marvel Comics. Years ago, he lent me volume 1 of this, and I'm getting around to it right now. But when he still lived in Jersey, he lent it to me. So always make good when people lend your books. I don't care how long it takes. And then we're doing the Facebook effect right here. And then when it comes to comic books, we are doing really what I consider to be the greatest single graphic novel of all time. We are doing Death of Captain Marvel for obvious reasons. But cheers, guys. Got your big ice cube. We have my Hershey cream or Hershey chocolate creamer. I need some reference. Let's get some demon reference. Let's get some of this other work out of here. We're back to when kind of like when I sit down to live stream. We're a little bit back to just having too much. It's a good feeling, guys. It's a good feeling to think you have too much work to do. And if you see my cell phone shifting, I guess my all my Disney Plus info has been there, guys. I get it, but I still love Disney Plus. I don't care. Even here, we're doing the Spider-Man 1975 cartoon. 1978 cartoon is right here. He's fighting a cycloptic monster, which is pretty damn cool. Doctor Doom episode, by the way, or yeah, Doctor Doom episode. Let's do Demon, Jack Kirby. Yeah, and let's just kind of get into it, guys. I may have to step away for a little bit, but we're going to keep broadcasting. We're going to keep this party going today. So the Demon, look at his colors, though. Right? Like, what? Look at his colors. Look how, like, the logo, yellow, red, Demon, yellow, red, blue cape. Just give me a lot. Jack Kirby did a lot of yellow and red too, because he also Mr. Miracle, yellow and red. All right, so let's get into coloring a little bit of this dude's cape. Guys, keep in mind, Five Below sketchbook, Five Below colored pencils. I am going to do the risky move. I'm going to move up. We're going to move up right here. We're going to get the coffee right in frame. Yeah, so let's just draw. I've been burning through these mechanical pencils of late. Woke up today, immediately jumped on Trial by Fire coloring. Just working on the money shot pages. And I have the process down enough to where it's almost like part of my struggle with TBF. Some of it was just to sit down and commit to figuring things out. Okay. And that's a loose statement. That's what she said. It's a loose statement. But at the same time, it took time to get to that stage. And I know that's hard for people to figure out, but you know, like life happens sometimes and you just get caught up in stuff. And some of it is, you know, things you have to do, you know, like call it the greater good or whatever. So once I was able just to sit down and be like, hey, let's color a page. Let's go back, recolor it. Let's go back and recolor it. And it wasn't so much of figuring out the process, but it was just kind of like when I have an idea about colors, what should I add for the background? Like I would say it's a little bit of process, like process and methodology. So once some of that got uncovered for me, it really became, it was just like a freight train almost. It was out of control and it just became fun. So, you know, and it's fun to the point where I'm satisfied with it. There's still a lot of what's not fun, you know, and things are not fun when they're not correct, when they're just, you know, when they don't look up to speed, when they're not up to par, things are not fun to work on. And you should be able to put that pressure on yourself. A lot of people act like you're you're working against yourself, but no, like it's okay to realize what some of these faults are, and you're creating them. Like it is you, so why the hell not? Like why the hell not? Just keep going, figure things out, and trust your work will like improve along the way. Yeah, and I will always highlight the importance of sketchbook challenges, because the sketchbooks is where a lot of these ideas come from. Like you have to expose yourself in a certain way. You have to challenge yourself in a certain way. And sketchbook challenges will do that for you. And people just act like that they're these fun social media challenges, but they're really not. Sketchbook challenges are about you, like completing a task and completing it somewhat timely. And any of these challenges, you should add to them. You should make them tougher for you. You should constantly find ways to get yourself out of the comfort zone. And that is the point of the sketchbook challenge. It is get out of that comfort zone as much as you can, as quickly as you can. And the sketchbook challenge will do that. Finding people to collaborate with, especially if it's someone that you kind of admire when it comes to just the online space, like someone you're like, hey, like that person would be great. And what? Oh, Walrus, what is up? Hey, yeah. We will. I will get to it. If you want to see a little bit of the progress, I'll also like Walrus. I will tease a little bit of what's upcoming. Also, let's see, where are we? We're right here. So I was able to kind of get a little bit further down into the burst of the water, and start crowing some of the trees and roughage. We will be doing the Steep to Go Chuck Norris. We will be redoing this piece, by the way, because keep in mind I was working on a warm up. Since I'm a little bit happy with it, I'll be finishing Evangeline or Angeline and Prophet. Practice will be the Jack Kirby Dark Side, Jack Kirby Dark Side, Captain Victory, and Orion. Final Dark Side, and Ian Churchill's The Coven. So, and also, is it here? I wasn't too happy, but there's one I'm keeping secret, by the way. But let me just get to it. We're just going to be doing a lot of inking. I just feel like it's time. We will be doing 5 or 6 or 7 pages of Tony Daniel's F5. This is great, actually. This Rob Liefeld troll piece, just because it has like all the hair and it has like some of the Liefeld isms. And I think this is I even like the layout. I just think this will lend itself very nicely. So again, people, you have a front row seat to the end or the beginning of comic book inking. End, beginning, all the same. Yeah, thanks, Ifki. We do have to talk, bud. Just as a reminder, I was taking notes on things to talk about with you today. Just, hey guys, a little bit of a productivity tip: keep a moleskin, and I mean only a moleskin. Keep a moleskin with you at all times, And see, I have a lot of like spare pieces of paper in here, and that's a lot of those are for phone conversations. And I usually transcribe those into digital in some form. Take notes before you talk to people. Take notes before you have conversations, because sometimes things just don't. Everything doesn't just come out, and sometimes you need to kind of be effective with the time you have. Because when people pick up the phone, you should be a little bit flattered. I know I am. When people pick up the phone when I call, I am very grateful, because they don't have to pick up. They can hide behind text messages and emails. I do both. I do it all. Like whatever communication that God gives me, I will take advantage of. So we need to kind of clear out the demon here, guys. We got to move on. So let me just put on some red. Let's catch up with some of these messages. Yeah, dude. Walrus. Yeah, and here's the thing, everyone. Just like real quick, okay? Like just so you guys know what's cooking. I keep saying all systems are go, but hold up here. I'm just trying to get to the let's see here. Let's just get to akapad.com. We're going to be doing so much more akapad.com promotions, and a lot of things you see here will be available for free on akapad.com when it comes to just digital downloads and things like that. So we go to akapad.com. You go to draw. We get these automatic videos, right? But all the categories and everything is just coming together. A lot of it is organizing. So we'll have like this comic book creation by discipline section. So if you go on inking, for example, you guys will see more of a dedicated page, or an absolute dedicated page, to a lot of my inking background, examples, tools. Like all of it's going to be there. Okay. So that's where it becomes a very important resource to any of you. And this is me giving back, everyone. Okay. It is absolutely pinnacle. It's critical. I don't care what stage you're in when it comes to your creative journey, we'll call it. You have to give back. You have to kind of find ways. Social media enables it. And I've always said, like, could you guys imagine if Jack Kirby had live streaming? Like he would just take over all of social media. Like Jack Kirby would be the biggest. Like Jack Kirby and Stan Lee would be the two biggest names on comic book social media. And there's a reason for that. And you guys out there too, you have a little bit of a let's help Peter, a little bit of a job, we'll call it, a little bit of a job. And that's the kind of, if you have a friend that's into some of this stuff, show it to them. If you don't, I don't know, make a friend. Be like, hey, let's sit down, grab some popcorn, watch this Pete Dude live stream. So cheers to all of you guys. But this here just gets me excited when I see things come together like this. We lost Jack Kirby Demon here. What have we been watching? Have you been watching any good movies, streaming anything? It's critical. I always need new things. Did anyone catch the Echo trailer? That might be the subject of my next video. I'm a little bit perturbed by that video, honestly, and mostly because or that trailer, and mostly because Echo, like I was there when that, remember when that issue dropped. I was very into David Mack at the time, and I was very into Brian Michael Bendis. Brian Michael Bendis, too, FYI, aka Padders, maybe the biggest fall from grace we have seen in American comics. His Brian Michael Bendis and his DC Comics work really, it just destroyed his like his aura, like his presence. I don't know if you guys feel the same. Exactly. Yeah, but he would have to kind of like, this is a little bit of a point I made in a video previously, where you need at one point, and dude, even myself, guys, and trust me, don't act like I'm not considering a lot of things, but you need like a little bit of the help of the major publishers to make a name for yourself. They will lend credibility to you. They add credence. There's a little bit of validation, and it's important. Okay, so a lot of people just act like it's you're working for the man, right? Like you're working for the big companies. But I don't know. I think it's critical. I think it's a part of the absolute process. And in my view, it's important. And I always said to myself, like the time will come when I have to pursue it. And I never really did. Like even in my like indie days, I love working on independent comics like so much more. I just appreciate it more. I have more of a mindset for it, and other creators do, but they also don't push themselves, and that's where I think there's a lot of independent comics that just kind of they need more work. They need more direction and more insight. But Jack Kirby, the point again, getting back to that point, is Jack Kirby, after he made a name for himself, would never. You're so right, Ifke. Like, he would never have to go back. Like that's the amazing thing. He would just live stream. And I kind of want to say there's parts of Comicsgate like that, but I still don't feel like Comicsgate produced other than Rob Willis, right? Rob Willis. I will always say this. Maybe this is my next video. Rob Willis, Shelby Robertson, the two straight up talents associated or Comicsgate adjacent, but they are straight up weapons. Everything they post forever will make me jealous. And we don't really get a lot of that organically, though. Like just when it comes from discovering people through the interwebs. And it's tough because I don't think you would push yourself on the same level if you were working for yourself or working for clicks or for online cred versus a major publisher. I think the major publisher will help sharpen your blade and add credibility to your efforts way faster. Especially when we're in an age where like the average person, right, runs around in Marvel t-shirts. Like how wild is that? We kind of forget that was not a thing until modern recent history. And trust me, I don't like it. I don't like it one iota. Sorry, guys. I have to write down a quick idea. I got an idea there. got like a little bit of a cold or virus or something recently. Look, you see, I'm just like coughing stuff up. It is. Yes, 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 yes. So just I'm adding like blue here in some of the shadows just to kind of, I don't know, make it a little bit more pleasing. Keep in mind, if we are to go to the Kandinsky, if we are going to go down the path of Kandinsky and Impressionist painting, post-Impressionist painting, we are not to ever associate dark with black. Because true dark is a combination of colors, right? Like we learned this in art school, or I learned it by reading, since I've really never been to art school. Here we go. We're kind of there, everyone. A little bit happy with that. Like, not like happy enough. Okay, like happy enough. These have gotten more and more sophisticated too. My original intention was to really have them be about 20-minute, 35-minute drawings, depending on detail and other elements. And holy crap, the sketchbook got completely out of hand. I kind of think we're there. Welcome to the jungle. So, excuse me. To forward into the sketchbook, we kind of already have Iron Man. We got a lot of the Fantastic Four, like all set to go. Yes, we are doing She-Hulk and Fantastic Four. Not Ben Grimm. We've done enough Ben Grimm in this already. We have Lord of Light, Mr. Miracle. So we're going to do full body, kind of close. So I just wanted to do this one, all red, all yellow. And then we have Absorbing Man sitting in his cell. Yeah, Midnight Monster. So like we're almost there. So we got just a couple of things. We got Uric, right? Ulrich, the troll. But then, yeah, Major Strong, Dark Side. So yeah, I mean, I took a little bit of a break, but let's just get into it page by page. You get to the point sometimes when you do the sketchbook stuff where you're working like forwards and backwards at the same time. I do recommend that for, yeah, for any type of production. Yeah, let's see here. Go. What is the guy? What is this dude's name? I'm getting like a complete brain fart. Simon, right? Simon. Let's see here. We need a Jason Blood, right? Here we go. Jason Blood. Yeah, he just looks. I mean, his his versions, his animated versions, really look. I will always associate his proportions with Bruce Timm, or the animated style. Let's just see here. Yeah, see, like, I don't know why. Like, these proportions are just perfect. And right here. Like, I don't know why. It's so simple. He's got that yellow streak in his hair. We're going to exaggerate it a tad. But let's just draw. Let's just draw a good human head. Don't mind the mechanical pencil because it is making noise. So happy to have some of you guys with me right now, though. The DC, DC has really like the absolute best mid-tier at anything. They have a great mid-tier cosmic, and by mid-tier I mean it does not stain on its own. Okay, the cosmic, but then the mystical stuff. For example, like Doctor Strange successfully gets a movie, gets a whole live action franchise, hits the lexicon. Some of that's by just the nature of the character. Some of it's a little bit of luck, sure. But could you imagine like DC ever doing like a demon movie? It just wouldn't exist. No one. It would be a tough sell. And as much as like some of these people like to pretend that some of this stuff would resonate, it just wouldn't. And DC is, I think that's why too. There's a lot of the creators are just straight up DC diehards, because I'm sure from their perspective they have to, like, you're almost like living the good fight, and just DC beckons that. Marvel has a lot of low-hanging fruit when it comes to accessibility of the characters. It makes you kind of want to think, is DC really best for animation? That's a real conversation point there. Jason Bloodtooth, what a wild name. And we're kind of just going for a little bit of animation, or what I like to call kind of like my cartoony style. Just very simple forms, easy on the eyes, fun to look at. His eyebrows are just like, we're going to make him kind of look like bats. Here we go. Part of it is just kind of just being comfortable with your material. Get comfortable just enough so that you can predict some of the outcomes. What some of it will turn out. And this sketchbook too really opened. It just opened me up a little bit more to getting a little bit more effective with the mechanical pencil. Just I found myself erasing more, just doing more big blocks of pencil, like, or black. Jason Blood, here we go. No, I haven't. Icky. The Sean Gordon Murphy Mark Miller interview was, I think, enough. Look, dude, like, I don't know why people are making a big deal out of that. I don't know if there's much to add, and I'm not in the idea of just like, hey, like, let me just do a video to kind of, because everyone else is doing something on it. But I don't understand a little bit of this obsession with Sean Gordon Murphy, because he knows he has books to sell, and he kind of, right, like, he walks the line, and he kind of says things, talks in code, and that's it. Like, he doesn't call out people, doesn't name names. To me, that is useless in anything. Yeah. It's, imagine if it was like a criminal proceeding and people acted like Sean Gordon Murphy. Nothing would get done. Criminals would just continue to do what they're doing. But now you got me thinking, right? Like, does it have to be said that calling people out by code is like, it's a useless gesture. Like, don't even like approach the topic at that point. So now I'm like, maybe that is a effing video. Just with that alone. Maybe we'll kind of get a little bit into maybe we'll do like a little bit of a reverse shading here. Maybe. Let's just see. And some of this too, we're just like, it's still sketchbook. We're still figuring things out. So yeah, like I'm not always happy with some of the proportions or like things that happen after the fact. Like if I have to draw something twice. But that's kind of like what you do with sketchbooks. So you want to be able to figure things out. And not everything in your sketchbook is supposed to end up on the page. Some people, I think they kind of have their practice down that well, or they just, like they kind of just hone in on what they like very quickly, just so they can kind of, start completing their job. So it's a couple things that happen sometimes. Yeah, I get it. Like he's taking a break because there's no money. His money slowed down. Sales are whatever, and he's just trying to find the next thing. I don't believe if he, like I said, if he wanted to fix things, and he kind of puts out this messaging that he's for the betterment of comics, then name names. Like, right? Like why skirt around some of these issues, dude? Keep in mind too, like Rob Liefeld blocked me through a series of videos, and one of them was that Rob Liefeld is a coward because even then he was calling out the practices of the industry, right? Kind of the state of the union type stuff, not naming names, not being clear with examples. So it's just like, again, you can criticize Marvel Comics all you want, but if you're not going to tell people what the problem is. Like if Sean Gordon Murphy doesn't say Jim Lee destroyed this entire thing, Jim Lee forcing out Jeff Johns from his position, Dame the Mr. the Dio. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, but like like all that, right? If you're not calling out Jim Lee, the hell what are you doing? But he doesn't call out Jim Lee because Jim Lee most likely is going to ascend into a higher executive position at Warner Brothers, and he's going to Sean Gordon Murphy might want Jim Lee's contact info and be on good terms with him. It's not smart business. It's just cowardness. Yeah, I guess like business wise, sure. I'm sure he's got money people, right? He's got a bankroll himself. He's got name recognition. He has all of this stuff. So time will tell. But I will say this: there is a reason. The artist usually is not the good businessman. But yeah, I also feel like the ship sailed with Sean Gordon. Right, like where is I guess Zorro did well, right? I would assume did like $250,000. But if Zorro's not $1 million crowdfunder, right? Like where is Zorro? Let's look it up. Because now I'm just getting pissed. Zorro comic, right? Let's see here. Where are we at here? It doesn't populate. Here we go. So he went to Kickstarter. I didn't even know he went to Kickstarter, Ifky. I thought he was indie. All right, so he's at almost 3,000 backers, 300K. And is this completed? Or is it still going? It's hard to tell sometimes. Either way, I mean, dude, like good on him. Congrats. 300K. Yeah, sounds good. But to do it on the level that he's, like you need real sales. Like I'll say that, and you need products, and you need things to supplement those sales. And I'm not saying he's not capable of that, but I just don't feel like, he's one request away from being completely blacklisted and canceled. Nearly everywhere. I'm Comicsgate would always take him in. He does great work though. Right, like best car guy, best vehicle guy in comics. And that's where the idea of like, is there like a coalition? Like the weird stuff with Ghost Machine. Like, should there be a little bit more of creators kind of getting together? Like I don't think that's the solution either. People always think that's the solution. What are they going to create to supplement these evergreen characters? Right? Like EVS lucked out. He kind of had Cyberfrog, and Cyberfrog had enough of a publishing gap where people just it's something magical happened. People became hungry for Cyberfrog. But you have to create that next thing. That's what people want to see. And just look at the lack of real hype that Ghost Machine has. You know, there's a reason why Sean Gordon Murphy is doing Zorro. You know, Sean Gordon Murphy got into relevance for doing an alternate version of The Dark Knight. So it's just like, I get it, people, but no one's going out there. The back issues of Tokyo Ghost. Tokyo Ghost isn't a $400 issue one. Sure, maybe some of the alternates are or some crap, but I even doubt that. Let's just go with purple. Should go with purple. Let's go with red. Let's go with red. Because this is what I like doing. I like going into the lead here and adding color to it. I think it looks beyond cool. So now, Itke, you really got me thinking now. Like, maybe there is a video in there. I was really going to drop an Echo video today. My Loki video. So the other funny thing is, like, I'll have to go through some of the analytics, but it is clear my midnight drops do so much better than my like daytime stuff. Isn't that wild? Like, and my Loki video yesterday, which I thought was good. I thought that was going to have enough to kind of get a little bit of early traction, and none of that picked up until after hours. Yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah, character headshots should just always be fun. You know, I like it when stuff like this is incorporated into the paneling, like kind of like when two people are talking and stuff like that. It's a good solution. Yeah, it's funny, dude. You know, what sucks because I woke up today and I'm like, oh, let me just do this one video real quick, and then I'm like, now I have all day to do it. I would still like to do one daytime drop, one nighttime drop. That's the next evolution. You know, after you get into you get to the point where you can do one video a day. The next thing would be to do 2 videos a day and maybe do something that's a little bit more long form. I think some of that's coming, but I do feel like too, like the some of the reviews I have coming. I want to do Captain Marvel because I do get really into like a deep dive. I like deep dives. I like going into subjects, and I just kind of like, you know, almost like meditating on some of these things. And but geez, like it is completely your motivation gets zapped when there's no traction for those videos. But like when you're not totally dependent on it, why not, right? Like be that guy that puts out that video, and someone a couple of years from now might find it. That's the valuable part. Marcus, what's up, bud? Give me 1 second, Marcus. I wanted to tip off my coffee real quick. We're working on Jason Blood here, aka the Demon. Just doing a quick headshot. The Demon, right? Jason Blood. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. And yes, we will have a be right back graphic coming very soon. Sorry, gangers. I am looking for something unrelated, real quick. At one point, I had like a little wallet that had all my gift cards in it, and I can't find it. Someone was looking for it. All right, guys. Well, cheers. Coffee is topped off. Where are we? Where are we with all this? What do we got? Yeah, action. Yeah, it's a little bit of that. Marcus, what do we got here? Yeah, I don't know. There is so much more K-fake stuff. Dude, they did this one video where it's like it's a whole promo on ordering an Omnibuy through Amazon. It's like, geez, like, what about comic shops, right? Like they don't do that. They do not promote comic shops as much as people want to pretend they do. They do not. What is up the neck? Look at that little dog over there, little doggy. All right, guys. I'm just trying to see, like, what else do we have here? It's so hard sometimes just to leave like blank areas on the page. You know? And if you get skilled enough, again, like a little bit of that craftsmanship, and within like a couple quick lines, you can kind of get something to be represented. Yeah, and the demon too has a really cool like cast of characters. Yeah, and I do like it when people experiment with like ways to shadow something, and a little bit of like what's the positioning for like this character, like how are we going to make this character interesting and different and recognizable. I wish we saw more of that too with just some of the modern comics, right? Like you don't even think they go like that's the other big thing, dude. Like the modern masters, like masters guys, right? Like do they like what's some of the thought process? Like where are we with them making things iconic and forever and impressionable and brainable? Like these people just do nothing with some of these creations. They do nothing to keep it going. See, like even here, I'm just trying to. There's something I want to do. I'm going to show you guys real quick here. Yeah, really give him like anime inspired hair here. I also feel like would it be kind of younger looking? Like, would he kind of have a little bit more of a, like edgy vibe? Like, would he be from some of the parts of town that you would just hear about, but kind of know, like, like you wouldn't send your mother into his part of town type stuff, Like, again, character creation. Get into the DNA of the character. Let's see. Maybe you guys can hear some of the Philly sirens going. Keep in mind, people, I'm not joking. I am 10 stories up. All my windows are closed. I'm away from any type of like main street, right? Like I'm not on top of what you would call the city. I'm in the city, but I'm not on top of like. But anyway, and you still get the sirens. It's amazing. If you hear any shaking, those are my stacked Prismacolor markers in their marker tray. So I just had to like move my hand just so we get like a little bit more of like. Sometimes you have to be directional. Like you want your strokes to go into the right direction. And the reason for that is it just brings the viewer closer to what you're doing. Creates a little bit more of that, closes a little bit more of that gap. But see, like how we play with things, we experiment, we figure things out, we try and find. I call it like tapping the vein. Like find the blood. Where's the blood coming from? Like pun intended here with this guy, right? Sorry, guys. Just check in. Now I'm on Insta. What am I doing? Yeah. All right. All right, guys. Right. Enough. We did enough. Who is that? That's a little nutty. Like Marcus, is that you? Who does that? Why would you do? I'm Marcus. Please explain that to me. If you can elaborate, please. Just because I'm curious of the thought process behind that. So some of this, guys, to get into errors, the way how these really don't line up. I ain't do a good enough job or well enough job lining these two up. You know, the eye line should be here, the nose should be here, but whatever, right? Like we're just working on our exercises. But either way, guys, let's just keep going. Yeah, thank you, the Nick. Finally, someone sees it. Wow, we're almost already 90 minutes in, guys. Jeez. I'm trying to think what color should we do Iron Man here. I really fell in love with the colored lead. The colored pencil on top of gray lead. I don't know, people. I just think it looks awesome. I like some of the effects. I just like how it looks. Let's just see this one kind of. And you have to do the work. You have to kind of get into the right type of pressure, shading. You know, like you got to put the work in to get the right effect. See, like here too, like the pressure made a big difference. Yeah, it's hard to tell, guys, right? Like I can hold it up like that. Oh, core draft and directing it. He's building his world. I don't know, Marcus. I don't know anyone that would. I am familiar with core draft. I am familiar with it, but to me that just seems frivolous. But I get it. Like as a writer, you gotta do something, right? Like you gotta do something, guys. It's called content, but I don't know. That just seems stressful as hell. It's almost like even with a character like Wolverine, like what do you mean 100 questions about Wolverine? Like just tell me about the freaking character. Like tell me why people care about him, type thing. And moving on. Like we can all move on with our day. I think it would be cooler if he went. If you were like a writer, and let's just say like you have to kind of get in front of people's faces and you know like you have to try and do content. I would just kind of pitch things. You know, I would constantly talk about the world. And I hate the term world building. I don't think world building is a real thing. That's almost like a code word for me too. world building just seems so silly. Yeah, because a lot of times, like, people are more into the characters than they are into the environment, into like this world, right? Um, but I get it. I get why people use that term. Like, I'm not really knocking it. It's just, I prefer not to say it. But yeah, I would just like kind of do just find ways to talk about how that book is, or your creation. Like, how is it different? Like, how is it, like, why do people care about it, type thing? Like, you gotta solve that riddle. And that's therein lies the difficulty of doing anything independent. We were kind of just talking about this with Sean Gordon Murphy, is like, if you're trying to replace like the Marvel characters with your own, you have to bring the fire, people. If you're going to replace Captain America with your creation, you better do something that no one on planet Earth can imagine in story, concept, execution, character design, all of it. Like, make a book better than Watchmen. Like, do it. And I think that's where we lose a lot of people. We lose an entire generation of creators because no one's come close to Watchmen. Think about that. Dude, no one's even come close to Miracle Man. Like, we can just go Alan Moore down and be honest about some of that stuff. He's a little crazy. Yeah. Hopefully you guys see my point. Guys, look. When we sit down, we might read this for fun. This is fun. This is like a hoot. It's a good time. Okay? We look, guys, we may sit down and read this. This is a hoot. But then the day's going to come where you have to realize that if you're not on this level, if you're not here, if you're not trying to do this, when you end up here, it's going to be less entertaining. Just baseline. Less entertaining. But you can do both. Or you incorporate, like, you need to, I don't want to say, like, maybe we do. Like, maybe there's like a laziness issue with a lot of comics. People are just lazy. People think it's easy. Like, people just think, hey, I create, like, let me create a comic. It might be fun. It's like, no, like, go away. Like, it's not worth it. Invest in an app. Find a startup somewhere and give them that money and time. But I think the independent comic book world gives attention to some of these people, and that's kind of it's almost like a little bit of a social club, right? Like, it, like, these people are anti-social, and they need it. They need human interactions, and trying to sell books online is that. Jeez. Like, that's what I mean. Like, what is happening? Like, what's wrong with just doing one thing? Like, do one thing well. And keep in mind, I'm not totally familiar with some of these individuals. So, like a little bit of levity with that. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to figure this one out. Yeah. I always get to the point where I'd rather rip out the page and kind of like restart. Like I hit that point so many times where I just rather like move on or redo it. And it's always that. It should always be like that, people. Like you should be always on the verge of starting over. And a little bit of the reason why you're not starting over is because there's just enough there to keep you happy. Enough there to talk you off the ledge. Exactly. The intention of any character creation, it really should be, I like this guy. I hope other people like this guy. Let me tell a story so people like this guy. Or girl, like, or whatever. But like, let's kind of, let's sell the character. Let's get people excited about this character. What does the character need to do? What do people need to see? What's happening? Is nothing happening? Like, it's not rocket science, but people, I think, pretend it is. Because it takes them off the hook. If you overcomplicate something in your mind, you are taking yourself off the hook, and you don't need to be good at it because it's too complicated. So everything should always be simple, fast, simple. Get it done, get it out, moving on. All of it, people. Yeah, right. Andy, I was going to say, I thought Kildar was Andy Smith, or I thought it was Aaron LaPozzesti. I thought it was Aaron or Andy Smith. We're doing, just so you guys know, if you guys didn't see the video, where is it? Is it still here? Where is it? Right here, guys. We will be doing issue 1 of First Man. And I will say, this, it's going to be honest, okay? I'm not saying people don't have growth, but it will be honest. So now I'm just going back and forth. I don't know why this is purple either. I don't know if purple was like the right choice. But see, I just like how the blending kind of just like fades, like the background fades into the foreground. That's what I like about doing stuff this way. Like heavy lead colored pencils, heavy lead colored pencils. Marcus, what's your book? What are you working on? Is there anything you can talk to me about? Cordath is Andes. Right. Cordrath is Andes. I gotta move on, guys. Mr. Fantastic, let's go. Now, I had a nice blue for these, and I think here we go, right here. Okay. Nah, is that darkened? Is that the right shade? I thought there was another one. We're gonna get into some of this. We might wrap it up soon, guys. I don't really know. I thought we had a nice Fantastic Four blue floating around here. I apologize, everyone. My table is an absolute disaster. It's so bad. But we do a lot of stuff, too. Let's just see. See, I kind of just want that. Like, I almost want to just use the colored pencil here to make everything look smeary. Just to smear it. I don't know why I like it. This shade of blue is off, by the way. This is not the shade of blue I was looking for. But like something like that, to where like we're just touching it with a little bit of light. Here we go. I mean, it's okay. I'm not. If this blue was better, I'll be way more into it. And I apologize. It's hard for you guys to see. We are rocking and rolling, guys. Hold up here. What do we got here? For a gaming company, Mythic Americans. Oh, I like that name. Looking good. Strawberry Lubby X. What, dude? What is, guys? What is this? This is so cool looking. What is that? Thank you, Tangle Mangle. Also, too, I would read a comic in this style, guys. I love. There's a fascination I have with super fast, comic book artwork, like super fast. You're about to get raised by another live streamer. Oh, what is that? I'm not sure what that means. Rated. Oh, I see. Oh, here we go. Guys, thank you so much. Hey, guys, rated. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Poker. I'd like the. Are these just rocks? People, you guys can leave comments all day, and I'll just go through every single one of these icons here. Yeah, I know. New sub. Thank you, Strawberry. Thank you. Sticky rate. Oh, we're from Sticky. You're so underrated. Skull GT. Thank you so much, Skull. I'm going to just take a picture of that because I am going to put that on my socials, guys. And you know what we have to do too, guys. Always remember, follow me on all the socials. Let's get some lights up here because I want to see in the background with this. Skull, that is beyond flattering, dude. Thank you. Look, guys, it's not like you crave validation or you crave stuff. I do this to become good. Period. I want to become the best I can. So I draw a lot. I live stream a lot. I promote who I can. I help who I can. But dude, like, you know, some of the validation feels good. I can't lie about that. Sticky art raid. Yes, yeah. your local cat. Yes. Our local cat, by the way, guys, is Dallas. Oh, Sticky art pro. Dude, thank you so much. Wow, that's really something. Sticky raid. Guys, come on. Oh, and here he is. Sticky, yo, dude. Sticky, I didn't even know this was a thing, dude. Like, thank you so much. Sticky, I would still love to do something with you if we're just hanging out. I was going through I was catching up on some of your TikToks, dude. To me, like, your productivity is just jaw dropping, dude. I just, and you're like the style and where you're coming from is like, you know, again, like this is why we admire other individuals because they're coming from a place that you cannot imagine. Sticky is that guy. Sticky comes from another realm of illustration, of drawing, craftsmanship, the technical side, the entire spectrum. If he's one side, I'm like over here, guys. So cheers to Sticky. Honest to God. You know, and we keep things open here, dude. The hangouts, the interactions are always FUN, dude. They are just nothing but fun. It's great drawing and just hanging out with people. But here we go. We got a little bit of Mr. Fantastic there. I think the blue I was looking for was this one too, guys. Yeah, TYM. Yes. Guys, I am trying to. Dude, you guys are crazy. I'm loving 10 likes. Let's go, guys. Yeah, please. Yeah, anyone that subs, thank you so much. We try and do a lot here. I try and go on as much as I can. But I'm also active on Instagram. I used to do streams on TikTok. And maybe that's a little bit. Like, maybe I should get back to doing more TikTok streams. So if you guys want a preview of my next thing, it's this right here. We're going to be doing Hogwarts, and I'm going to go through the entire Harry Potter character list. And you can see some of them are here already. And my goal is to fill up this beautiful, this book too, this journal, more or less, is about 10 years old already. It doesn't have a date on it. I would say it's over 10 years old. But I bought this in Universal Orlando long time ago. And I kept it in the hopes of doing this exact thing. And Lupin, Neville, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to just keep going. Dobby here. So clearly, when we get into the later characters, it's going to be a little bit tougher, but we're going to do this. All right, so let's get into a little bit of Sue Storm here. And I'm not sure where we're at with Sue. I'm just going to go with the darker blue here at this point. I need 1 million subs. I know, right? Yeah, thanks. Skull, what's happening? Yeah, Skull, that's the idea, dude. Look, like, do we have to talk inspiration? Do we have to talk about motivation and kind of what the ideas are, what the intent is? When I started on social media, everyone, my goal was to never let my foot off the pedal. And even by that time, and we'll say, excuse me, roughly 7 years ago, I saw it as a 10-year play to take 10 years to build everything up, okay? And most of that is you fight through the noise. You fight through a lot of these people who start accounts and abandon them. And you kind of like, at that point, dude, like you just keep, you have to keep going because you have so many other people sucking the bandwidth, sucking up the attention. There's all kinds of reasons, but the idea is that you have to wait it out. And you can do things along the way. Like you can get good with SEO. You can go viral and then have enough when you go viral to capitalize on it. All that stuff, guys. You know, my goal was always just I think it'll be great if people know me as an illustrator, and that's it. Like, you know, if you're walking down the street, you know, you might be like, Peter A DeLuca AKAPAD is an illustrator as you're walking down the street. But it takes time too, because you also have to get good. You have to, like, and I get it. Like, we can argue about what's good, but you have to get to a certain level. And my argument is always, you know, like, you don't determine that level. Let other people determine it. And you guys are doing that right now. And guys, it feels so good. So thank you. And thank you too, Sticky Dude. You are amazing. Why can't you chat? I don't know. Look, help. Oh, what's happening? No way, Sticky. Thank you, bud. Yeah, I see you, local cat. Dude, I love all the cats, dude. You guys also, too, remember, this is a cat-friendly channel. If you go to a lot of my videos, we talk about Dallas the cat. Dallas is my boy. He shows up in a lot of videos, and he is he's my co-pilot. He's my dude. So some of this is just me being a little bit not 100% with the post here, just not liking it type stuff. And yeah, but we're treating this as if it's a sketchbook. So we're doing some completed drawings. We're making things look a certain way, but the idea is just to get the ideas out. Like practice, keep practicing. Don't slow that down. Here's the funny thing, right? Like, we all drew when we were younger. Some of us just never stopped. And that is from 6 Degrees of Separation. But let's just catch up on it. Keeps deleting. Oh, jeez. Diverse comics and pop. Cool, Mr. Fantastic. Thank you, Diverse. I subscribe. Diverse, dude. I love that character drawing right here, dude. Yeah, so we got like Mr. Fantastic. Do you guys want to see like you want to do like a top, because we're guys, we only have about this much. We only have this much of this left, and I roughly started this. Jacktober started October. I did like one stream. We got like a little deep into it, and then I took a break and I did this sketchbook. Where is it at? There we go. For Inktober, I did. So this is October's work right here, guys. Like 2 sketchbooks, right? For Inktober, we did Mortal Kombat. So I took a break. So here's the Mortal Kombat sketchbook. And I like deep dives. We got Heng here. Hengi from the Malibu Comics Mortal Kombat comic book series. So I added some of the prompts with characters. Some of the characters ended up being obscure. Devora, who's one of my absolute favorites. Nightwolf, another absolute favorite. But yeah, so this was October. Okay. October, we are knocking these out. Having a lot of fun. Didn't do a lot of live streaming for these because of it's labor intensive with the ink wash. You have to look at the back of some of the pages here, guys. All right. This is labor intensive. Kano. So yeah, we did it all though, guys. We did the entire sketchbook here. We did all the prompts. And I got like a little bit to do as of just like finishing up the sketchbook, because the approach for the sketchbooks is as if they were designed and printed. So for Jacktober, like again, so this is going to be die cut. I'm going to like cut out the Captain America, so it's going to be a die cut flip. Yeah, and we're going to bookend this a little bit with the Silver Surfer story. But yeah, we go in title page every single year. I make Jack Kirby kind of like he hangs out with me inside my own sketchbook. I got to fix up this credit page here though. So some of this was the overall idea. The art direction was smear lots of lead, and draw a lot. Like that's your art direction. So we got the contents page here that we have to wrap up. But then okay, so here we go. We got Captain America, Silver Surfer, and then we get into the prompts. We get Avengers, and some of it is like I'm building out the character of the sketchbook. So always the earlier entries are so much more different than the later entries. Yeah, Jessica. Yeah, Jessica. Thank you so much. Strawberry. Look at Strawberry. Yeah. There we go. Yes, thank you, Strawberry. No, Strawberry. Hang out with me. Do enough of this stuff with me. I cannot guarantee that if you just listen to some of my advice, followed, some of my direction, I cannot guarantee that you would become a great artist, but I can guarantee you will become a better illustrator. Okay. I seek to illustrate. I don't, to me, like art and illustration are 2 separate things. Dallas. Yes. Yeah, Dallas. I'm an Eagles fan. Marcus, Dallas is named after Diamond Dallas Page, the WCW wrestler, and he's also named after Dallas from the movie Alien, the captain of the Nostromo. What we got here? Keep drawing and creating. Raymond Image Comics, a part of the Prophet and Brigade Remaster. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Diverse. Just so you know, Diverse. I don't know, where's it at? Diverse. We're gonna be live streaming this. Hold up. Here we go. I'm gonna be working on. Angelina and Prophet here. And I wish this pencil was high res, but it's low res enough for me to interpret something. So we are, we're gonna be working on this live. We're big Rob Liefeld fans here, guys, and critics. You say my name, Norin Rad. Yeah, dude. Look. Yeah, it's a high evolutionary. Guys, come on. How on earth does this not happen in the movie? Like this design, it's so abstract. It's so wild to me. I love it. But anyway, so we have that. We have the Solar Lords or Space Lords, Kang, all the Kangs, too many Kangs, 3D man. But the idea is to fill it up, keep going, have fun with some of the different styles. Like you guys see with 3D man, where like I was trying to work it out. And sometimes when you're working it out, the style is a part of that. Like what's the style? What is the approach? How are we solving some of these problems? So you kind of do that. We, like head rotation, realistic, go back to cartoony. But then, we're kind of, again, we have to go through the prompts. This one, bane of my existence there, Ben Grimm. I want you to do Ben Grimm outside of the thing. Commandy. It's just a lot, guys. But the idea is that you're able to sit down and rifle through this. You can do these quick. Doesn't take a lot of time. You get this. You get the lead hand. But you just keep going. Okay? You keep going. Supreme Intelligence, Howling Commandos, the triple Fing Fang Fooms, Cyclops here. Not too crazy about Cyclops here. Not too crazy about Cyclops here, by the way, guys. Dark Side. Again, we're just wrapping this up. Some of it just needs a little bit more attention, but how much? It's just fun. Just to be able to sit down and draw. It's fun. It's a great dopamine hit, right? Fires up the neurons. Look at this blue, guys. Can you tell? This blue's okay. It's just okay. But this blue, geez, it just screams. Everything's about just the right color selection. So let's jump into Human Torch. I'm a Packers fan. Oh my God, Packers fan. I'm sorry. Hey guys. Look, I remember watching Rodgers beat Roethlisberger. What was that? Super Bowl 36 or 36 or 34, right? 35 was the greatest show on turf. That was Kurt Warner. Dude, big Brett Favre fan, by the way, guys. I am, you can even call me like a Brett Favre apologist. The low-hanging fruit positions against Brett Favre, to me, are garbage. We're also diverse. We're also big on football here, guys. Yeah, fill it up. Exactly. Yeah, guys. This is great, and thank you so much. Anyone that rolled through, honestly, God, thank you so much. But yeah, let's get into the Human Torch. Human Torch, the funny thing too is, I would say at one time, you were more interested in another artist interpreting Johnny Storm than you were Ben Grimm, and how much have the tables turned on that? Because now it's if just for example, so and so comes in, signs to Fantastic Four, starts drawing Fantastic Four. You are, as an audience member, you're just more into with the interpretation of the thing's going to be. Like, we're just like programmed for that at this point. But I think when it comes to the nuance of the team and the real like interpretation, it's Johnny Storm first, because of his whole idea, like the presence of the character, is so much more abstract than anything Ben Grimm can offer. And I just think as an artist, you are just more challenged with Johnny Storm. Because, again, you have to, this guy has to be on fire. He can't look like he's being tortured. He's got to be like somewhat drawn like in the moment and happy. So, to me, it's just Johnny Storm, aka Patters. To me, Johnny Storm is the Fantastic Four. It's not Reed. It's not Sue. It's not Ben. It's this guy. And you kind of do want to say that the John Byrne interpretation of Johnny Storm is just perfection. And then just if we're arguing that, like maybe, I don't know, like maybe you want to say, part of that too is just from a character, like just from a look, right? It would be Alex Ross. It would be like Alex Ross and John Byrne. Like, those are the guys that really added the nuance to Johnny Storm. Yeah, and I'm a big Alex Ross guy. Like, there's so much about Alex Ross that I just think he is just like there. Like, he's a perfect creator, perfect company guy, perfect everything. Yeah. Yeah, Jim Lee's Heroes Reborn FF is maybe like guys like, we have to say John Byrne's number 1. We have to say Jack Kirby's number 2. That's your two-headed dragon, right? Jim Lee's 6 issues of Heroes Reborn FF is to be admired. I've done videos on that, everyone. Multiple videos. And we're out. What do we have another pencil here? Here we go. Always have a pencil, everyone. Yeah, his Invisible Woman's beating. Yeah, do you know who Invisible Woman I like? Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan's Invisible Woman. Fantastic. Yeah. John Byrne is there, dude. Yeah, it sucks, Johnny. Yeah, like, I don't know what they're. How do you, like, the Fantastic Four should be the one team that doesn't have any dead members ever. That doesn't mean, like, during John Byrne's, when John Byrne was working on the book, he put the thing in the Secret Wars world. So, like, the Sting was the thing for a while was off planet. So that's how they rolled in She-Hulk. Like, do stuff like that, but you should no one of Fantastic Four should ever be dead, ever. It's the Fantastic Four is the absolute heart of the Marvel universe. Not cinematic universe, guys. We're talking comics here. We're going to do some, like, nice Kirby crackles and breaks coming off of here. Just to show motion, just to show a little bit of friction and that stuff. Some of the solution arguments for Johnny Storm's underwear is, do you go clear or do you go dark? Do you make it look like it's more darker blue or whatever? I like it to be a little bit dark, to be honest. Yeah, sucks Johnny died. We're just going to leave that up there. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, guys. This is where like I start to black out just a little bit because I'm kind of, we're just drawing here. We're a little bit. You get into a dream state sometimes. Yeah, he said right. He sacrificed himself. To stop the annihilation wave. Right. I get it. Yeah. Right, and then he went supernova. Right. He went white blast with that Norin. We need some orange. What do we got here? Yeah, he did go out heroically. I mean, like again, like every hero needs to go out heroically. It's when they don't do that. That's where you feel cheated. Here we go. Looking a little bit like oh, 1 second, guys. Getting a phone call. Sorry about that, guys. Quick phone call. Quick phone call. But this is where, like, for me, it's also too like there's just something happens when you draw Johnny Storm or even the Silver Surfer, where again, like the ideas of the characters are so bizarre. It's just perfect. It feels like it's perfect. Silver Surfer, Toro, Johnny Storm, Flamehead Boy, whatever you want to call them, right? These are the characters, everyone. These are the characters that it's all based on. When we talk comic books, and this is my problem. Let's just get into it a little bit real quick. When you see a slowdown of ideas like this, when you just see the slowdown in the entire industry, even the independents, you have to question everything. I'm sorry. Oh, and also diverse. We got ourselves, we always draw with a Crypt action figure at our table. Forgot to show you that. People, rock and roll, keep going, create things that would make me jealous, right? Do that. Create something to make me jealous. And if you can't do that, I don't know. Collaborate with someone that maybe can, that you can help. You know, like find that person, help that person. That's the solution. That's the gotcha. If you can't do it, find someone, get good with supporting them. Be creative. Become their marketing manager. How about that? Norin, oh my God, thank you, dude. Norin, thank you. Yeah, I do. I also do streams a little bit quicker, a little bit shorter on Instagram. And the reason is because I like the format. I just like being able to flip my phone around, jump on, and do some sketchbook work. And I think there's a little bit more. There's a couple more, like a little bit of a community that likes me to do stuff on Insta. I think it's fun. Why not do both? So that's why we're here too. So, and then guys, the true Fantastic Four, She-Hulk. And I'm going to doodle with this a little bit. Yeah, all-time favorite. I keep saying it because I do feel like the day will come. It's Cable, dude. I love Cable so much. I think Cable is, again, like perfectly abstract, perfectly crazy, perfectly silly. Hero-wise, I would, if I ever did like a Cable story, he would be the villain. Like it would be this idea that he is from the future as a revolutionary first, and he's radicalizing individuals one by one. That would be my Cable hook. It would be like PG-13, but it would be violent. It would be over the top. I wouldn't want to make it rated R because I just feel like that would diminish the character, and he is related to X. But no Deadpool, all Apocalypse. But technically my favorite villain too would be Apocalypse. So doing like this Cable versus Apocalypse, epic showdown. Redoing a Cable issue, was it 50 or was it 75? Where Liefeld drew the confrontation, and somewhat got the book away from Ladron and Joe Casey. If you guys really want to get into some of the brass of the comic book history, Liefeld like inadvertently derailed two epic runs. Garney, Mark Waid for Captain America right before Heroes Reborn. And there's reasons for that. Like it wasn't through purposeful. Even Liefeld, I think, in the books did thank yous and apologies to Mark Waid and Ron Garney. But the one that no one talks about is Joe Casey and Jose Ladron on Cable, marching towards the landmark issue where they would finally match up against one another, and we would have our resolution. And like looking back, you kind of like, well, Cable should never get to Apocalypse. That's a little bit of the hook. Like Cable should never confront Apocalypse because he can't find, he can never find them. But again, we have to sell books, we have to do things. So they did it, and they brought in Liefeld to boost those sales, and it worked. Like the books effing sold. Some nice covers, like nice everything. But I don't know. I think it would have been a little bit better if Casey at least wrote those issues or something, because there was so much effort put into it. And I have like a personal connection with that run because I followed it. I thought it was perfection. And seeing change, when you see changes sometimes like that, you reject it. You get angry. But looking back, again, I get it, dude. You have to sell books. You have to sell books. You're a comic book company. So get creative sometimes. Hold up here. Just trying to make her boobies here get a little bit more dynamic. There you go, guys. Yeah. Cable's just great. And like I said, Cable is perfectly comic book. Cable is as comic book as Captain America's costume is comic book, as the idea of a Human Torch is comic book, the idea of what the Silver Surfer is comic book, right? Like when people say, I cannot do, like, you can't do Superman stories because he's too much of this, he's too perfect, he's too this, and he's too that, right? This is a low-hanging fruit, idiot commentary you always hear. But people, if you can do Silver Surfer stories, you can do Superman stories. The ideology of the characters are equal. The intent of the characters are equal. Their mission is equal. I don't know. Yeah, Cable, Yeah, Cable, Anthony. Look at this. What is that? What is this? Yeah, Cable is highly underrated, but rightfully so. I remember when New Mutants 87 dropped. Cable was everything. And if it wasn't for Hot Topic, we would not care about Deadpool or Harley Quinn. For that matter, Hot Topic made Deadpool into a thing. From that time, it was. Dude, I would say even at one time, Domino was more popular than Deadpool. Domino. But things change. Like that is the fandom. That's part of being obsessed with it too. Is when you see that those paradigm shifts happen, that slow shift. To where all of a sudden, a guy like Crypt or a guy, who even knows who this guy is? Who even knows what book this guy is from? He's on my desk for a big reason. But charting things becoming, like the relevancy shift. That again, that's part of the obsessive nature of collecting and reading and getting into some of these books, because it's fun to chart it, it's fun to track it. Anyone younger today, even if they saw Deadpool 2, they don't understand why Cable is in Deadpool 2. And if you tell them that Cable at one point was far, far more popular than Cable, they think you're crazy. They think they think it's madness. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking for a purple. Here we go. Purple. Which purple? Strife 2. Yay. You know what, dude? Norin, I forgot about Strife. Yeah, Strife is great. So I'm going to do some of this from memory. I'm not going to look it up. right? She has a purple leotard, right? Exposed legs, right? The legs aren't purple. So some of the tips, some of the things to always try and do is the more aggressive you are with doing reflective lighting on your objects, do it. So I always try and like a little bit of a quick tip, guys. Do I have a blank piece of paper? Jeez, I can't find one. Well, we'll just do it here. So if you take this deltoid here, see, I'm going to split it. So we do this like thicker line here, right? This line's establishing a highlight. See, this line establishes a highlight above it, okay? And then below it, we have the reflective light. So you get like 3 dimensions relatively quick when we add a reflective light source to any object that we're trying to illustrate. And it helps it helps make things a little bit more interesting. A little bit more nice to look at, a little bit more fun. Here we go. I love the lead and the colored pencil. I just think that looks so much. It looks like so much fun. Yeah, I know. Strife is all spiked too. Even his. No, She-Hulk. Because we're doing Fantastic Four. We're doing I guess like at this point, right? Like and people said it, right? Like the fall of the Marvel Cinematic Universe right here. She-Hulk. And I agree. That show was tough. It was tough. And yeah, people I watch everything. I try and watch as much as I can. Maybe not everything. I watch as much as I can. And She-Hulk was a tough pill to swallow. I'll just say that. And it's not like you can't make a good She-Hulk thing. You can. But you spend all that time building up the Bruce Banner Hulk, and you just kind of, again, like subvert expectations. And you cheat people because that's they cheat you for the time you spent on it. And yeah, that's what happens. You get that. And again, it doesn't mean that there's not elements of She-Hulk that don't have merit. I think there is. I think there. I really will even go as far to say that I don't feel like Marvel Studios has done anything bad when it comes to what happened post Endgame. I don't think they've done anything bad. Do I think what they did though is good for the shared universe? And I will say no. They actually failed in expanding the shared universe, and that's the pushback. That's the rebellion. That's what people really don't like seeing. People wanted Moon Knight. They howled at the clouds. They howled at the moon for Moon Knight. They got Moon Knight. Really didn't like it. And, you have to kind of say at one point, like they don't like Moon Knight for valid reasons. There's reasons for it. For good reasons. Because this is your audience talking to you. And it gets confusing. It gets confusing when we add online commentators and even channels like my own. But I think the work done in She-Hulk is there. I think it's a designed show. That show has a impression for a reason. Like they sat down and decided the type of show they wanted to make, and it got executed. So there's credit given for that, because none of it's easy. Making a TV show is not easy. You know, like when it comes to the management side, it's not easy, guys. You know, but it's not Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's not what people wanted. It's not what people are comfortable with. And overall, it just like kind of alienates and upsets the audience. So when the audience kind of cries and lashes out, you know, like what do? You got to listen. Maybe, I don't know, right? Like, what's the path? You listen, or you just continue doing like you stick to your vision, you stick to your guns. Like, what do you do? These are tough things, people. These concepts are not. People want to gloss it over and act like it's easy peasy, and I'm sorry, it's not. Like, even here, even for myself, I'm embedded in such a direction when it comes to my videos, my content, my live streams, my drawing. You know, it's all programmed out, everyone. And if there's like a deviation from that, though, it's major changes. It creates chaos. So again, like, you should deviate, you should change. Sometimes you see the writing on the wall, but it's going to be a slow change. And that's it. The problem, though, is I just feel like by the time the Marvel Cinematic Universe does its little course correction, whatever the heck you want to call it, it's going to be way too late. Things are going to be over by then. And I think people know that. I think everyone knows that. Yeah, it's, you know, like, I will say this. When it comes to the value of the source material, people, that first Captain America movie, the first Avenger, is a effing banger because it's close to the source material. Okay? I think them deviating, though, right? Like, you deviate sometimes from the source material. That's fine, too. You need that balance, though. And it's just like, I don't know, like, when people saw the images of the Eternals, right? And when the Eternals weren't Jack Kirby, when you knew the Eternals wasn't Jack Kirby, I think that started the rebellion. I really do, everyone. I think people were just like, you know what? You know, like, we're not interested in them doing their own thing on everything. But Eternals is that's a tough pill to swallow. Eternals is tough, everyone. And it's not like comic fans were crying for it. Shang-Chi kind of seemed like it fit. Right? But people now talk about that movie as if it's like this anomaly. Like the last one that worked. Like the last kind of obscure character that they put out that worked. And, you know, good movie. Nothing like the source material. But again, like, they made ideas. They made concessions. Got it done. People seem to like it. Like, moving on, right? But, geez, like, consider this. Look at all the work that they've done to try and correct the the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. There's a lot of work, a lot of money spent in correcting that. Right, and that's still unresolved, right? because the end credits they were getting him from prison. Ben Kingsley, I believe. She-Hulk. All right, everyone. I do have to go, and we're getting really close though. Lord of Light's going to be fun. Mr. Miracle, Absorbing Man. A lot of these are very quick. Then we have Midnight Monster, and then we're going to have our end pages here, which will be the rest of the Norrin Rad story. So to leave, to say thank you to our one of our last remaining chatters. Right, let's just get into it right here. Norrin Rad, guys, I'm flattered. Thank you so much. It means absolutely everything. Almost makes me want to cry. You guys are so supportive. But I promise I will get better. I will keep going. Don't want to fail you guys. All right. Love you. Rock and roll.